Alright, what's up guys? It is going to be a first of a long motorcycle video today. I'm just trying out a new setting where I have like a external setup right on my helmet so that maybe we can get some decent audio. The route I've selected, as you can see, because it's raining, is only 32 kilometers. It is literally my neighborhood. Oh, one moment though. I will have to... Ooh. Oh, look at that, a cat. I'll have to set up my GPS tracker. I think this is a very helpful way for you guys to know exactly where I'm going. This has been a widely requested feature, but I haven't been able to find a good enough app. This one I'm using is called Footpath. Alright, anyways, off we go. I enjoy the rain because it really makes everything look fresh, it clears things up, but I can't say I quite enjoy this particular route because it gets redundant. I have to do it like every time I go out, and this mud gets all over my scooter. And even if it's not raining, the dust gets all over it. But you can see how beautiful the scenery is, so I'm not gonna complain. My parents have been here for a few years now, and it's quite amazing what just like a $50,000 deposit will get you rent-free. But lately they've been really developing this area, and you'll see a lot of new homes around here, particularly further up north. They're supposed to have been paving this area, but they got into a little argument because you saw the forklifts over on the left, the crane, not the forklift. And what they're doing with that is they're like carving into the hill to create more landscape to build a new house on. So I guess they didn't want to pave the road before they did that, because you have a bunch of heavy machinery and stuff going over it, which would have ruined the roads. So that's the little story of my little back alley, but who knows? I think we might, most likely will move before we see that being finished. But being that we're not technically the owners of this home because we're working on a deposit, we weren't the ones that had to pay into getting that road built. Wow. So hopefully the audio is good, guys. I'm gonna try a different mic location, but work with me here, it's a work in progress. Every day I'm getting it fine-tuned and adjusted a little better. Right now the mic is located right in the center of my visor, but it's inside. And then I'll adjust it and then have it go on to the left once I get halfway. But isn't the view amazing, huh? Usually I record these things in 4K. All my videos are generally 4K, but the GoPro is not very reliable, guys. I've actually created a why you shouldn't buy a GoPro video, but I haven't had the time to edit it, nor do I really want to go into tech reviews quite yet. But you guys who follow me closely already know my love and hate relationship with the GoPro. I will never buy another GoPro, but I got so many accessories. Oh man. But I'm hoping that I can save enough money to get a 360 camera. So all you Patreons are definitely helping me out a lot. I should have maybe just waited longer and just gotten a 360 camera and called it a day, but the income hasn't been that good on YouTube. So I don't know when that will happen, so I decided to invest some minor into mounts and such, so I could at least get you some video right now that's satisfiable. So I'm shooting in 2.7K, but given the poor lighting conditions, how crap the GoPro sensor is, I really don't think you could have told. You could tell, unless I said so, or you're checking below on the resolution. Alright, I'm supposed to make a left here somewhere. So I've been mapping out routes that I have not been to on this app, and it's really intuitive, although it was designed for hiking. By the way, guys, see that left was an unprotected left? Unless you speak Korean or read Korean in this matter, you wouldn't have known. That on the left arrow it says 피보호, means unprotected. So someone that, you know, reads Korean, speaks, well, I wouldn't say professional Korean per se, although I've, you know, worked at the bank and dealt with Korean clients, but speaks conversational language, could directly, literally translate that from unprotected in English. So driving here hasn't been too hard, although in Seoul, if you follow my how to get a driver's license guide, you'll know I've had quite a few issues with the minor rules, because the driver's license test is no joke, guys. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, this little, what do you say? It's not an alleyway. Side road I haven't been to. And it is very possible it might dead end. Although it is connected to another small road by a footpath. And I'm hoping it's like a larger footpath that I could get my scooter through. But if you're driving a car, I definitely wouldn't expect to be able to do that. But worst case scenario, we'll just cut the video a bit shorter, but I'm sure it'll take more than 20 minutes to get there. We'll have a nice overview of my backyard. But you'll notice these roads, generally they intertwine between mountains, and that's just sort of how it is all throughout Korea almost, particularly up north and the east. Sort of on the western area you have a lot of plains. That's where I would say, well, what do you call the Midwest in America? I don't know, I would say that's where the Rice Bowl is. That's where most of the farms, the big farms are. Like Kunsan, for example, the one that we featured. Oh, actually, we will feature, because I haven't gotten around to editing. It's the place me and Mayu, we took a trip to. Ilkom though. And that used to be the old center where the Japanese, when they colonized Korea, would farm and ship all the produce back to Japan. But very fertile lands. That would be the western part of Korea. But yeah, the north and the east, very mountainy, and even the east has its, the west has its fair share of mountains. So all these roads are very picturesque because we're driving through valleys. Even Seoul, I've been doing the hiking videos, and if you've been following that, and you see the viewpoints down below, you'll see Seoul is just a big valley basin surrounded by mountains, very strategic. And even in between they have small mountains here and there that create a green belt. And I talk about how the politicians wanna, well, half of them wanna release that to ease the rising housing prices. And how a lot of other Koreans feel very passionate about maintaining and saving those green zones, arguing obviously green zones are very good because smog is a big issue in Korea, but Koreans just love hiking as well. And number two, there's no guarantee that will lower housing prices. And they constantly cite the mistake Japan, particularly Tokyo, did to release their green zones. They don't have lowered prices because you'll just have foreigners come in and speculate and keep the prices high, and you just don't have green zones anymore. Oh man, hold on. My bike is having a bit of a hard time going up this. I'll keep it in. This is either second or third. The thing I love about the Super Cub is you don't really have to be too worried about what gear you're in, etc., because it's a rotary gear system. And if you're not familiar with it, what it does is basically when you shift too high, there's only 4 gears. Not much to remember, but even if you lose track and you shift too high and then you try to shift up on the 4th gear, all it'll do is just not shift up. And then you'll know, oh, I'm at the highest one. And then when you're stopped, it will rotate back into neutral. So, very convenient, foolproof, no clutch. The only thing I could probably do that's bad is maybe downshift too early, but that has nothing to do with keeping track of the gear. It's just you having a feel for, you know, when the revs are too high or low. This angle is a bit iffy though. I don't want to go too low, but when it's like here, it's barely any power. Okay, here we go. I just gotta get it up to a certain speed and then maintain that. Okay, maybe I'm going too slow, but it's a bit wet. Oh man, you guys enjoying this drive, by the way? Alright, what does it say here? What does it say here? It's a small library and a education center. Oh, look at this. This is, they say it's a course to climb Yumeongsan Mountain, which I did. I went through the main entrance, but this looks like it's like a back entrance. They say course, if I'm not wrong, 3 to 4. Oh, and then they got a Yumeongsan Mountain ATV experience thing here. So the footpath is probably a mountain trail for Yumeongsan Mountain, which is literally the mountain that's located right behind me. Okay, so here we go, here we go. What is that? Alright. Yeah, it looks like I'm going the right way. Oh, I hope the footpath is actually quite large so I could connect and go through the back. Oh man, look at these curves. Nobody here either. I think downhill skateboarders would love this place. Not many cars. Just have some walkie-talkies to communicate if there's any cars going up, etc. Roads are relatively well paved, although this is one of the worst conditioned roads I've seen. Oh, right now I have this feeling of developed Vietnam right now. Vietnam was like this when I went because it was rainy season. And you have that very atmospheric fog, like sort of up in the mountains there. Love it. And then this densely populated, well, densely vegetated per se, vegetation hanging from the sides. Although in Vietnam and Southeast Asia, it's just, I don't know guys, it just seems like one kind of vegetation, which is like the jungle vine type of vegetation. But here you have a bit more variety, which makes it interesting for me. You got evergreens like these pine trees, together with a lot of deciduous trees. And I really like the developed roads here. Like on the right, you see the rocks, and then how the moss is sort of growing out through the cracks. That's also very Taiwanish, and I'm sure that's how it's like in Vietnam. Oh my gosh, I love this. Here, I'll let you experience it. Yeah, if I'm not vlogging, this is what I get to experience. Just the mountain and the rumble of my little Honda Cub. For 110cc, it sounds pretty good because the guy installed like a $500 exhaust that he imported directly from Japan. This is as great as this bike will ever sound. But I like it. It's not bad. You know, it's free because it came with the modifications, but in hindsight, this is something I would do to my own motorcycle. It's I'm not sure about the performance, but just the drive is so much more enjoyable. Which makes me consider, I think the Honda Super Cub Custom, the 125, that's like $1,000 more, but it comes with all these upgrades. So, you know, knowing what I know now, I think I might opt for it. Jeez, I've lost GPS signal, I think. I haven't seen this GPS tick. Holy crap. Well, you can't get lost, there's only one path. It's just you and me, guys, and the road. Oh, I really wish and hope you guys feel the charm of Korea here and come out and join me on these amazing rides. Oh man, I should start a scooter rental business or something, which is a possibility here, given that I am a permanent resident, something that's not possible in Thailand. You guys always give me these business proposals, which are great, unless but with a big limitation. I can't make money there. Even if I wasn't making money, like, man, if you guys follow the Thailand vlogging scene, you'll see how crazy it is. Like, some guy will, oh my gosh, I don't know where to go. Yumeongsan Mountain course. So the right says it's gonna be a Sky Valley resort. What I'm gonna do here. Oh shit, that's the military. Oh, let me move to, oh, had me concerned. Yeah, this is the military bus, guys. It's crazy, huh? As a matter of fact, it's the Air Force bus. It wouldn't be right to transport troops in something that's not rugged looking, I guess. Oh shit, there's two. But this side, it says there's like a resort. So I'm thinking that it's gonna dead end. That's why I'm going here. Because my goal for these scooter trips and buying a scooter is to explore every inch of the Korean roads, which is possible here in Korea, being that the country isn't that large. But it is still a daunting task regardless, and it's perfect for Korea because you'll find that Korea has interesting things hidden everywhere. Yongcheon Sky Valley. Whoa, what is this? I mean, obviously, you know, I take that back. I can't literally explore everything. Oh my gosh, this is like some fancy, dancy area. Wait, is it? It just looked. Oh no, never mind. But how nice. I think this will circle around. I think this. I see Kung Fu Panda. I think this is. I'm not sure if this is the resort, but. Alright, there's another road leading down there. I think it is a resort, but it looks relatively derelict. It almost looks like it's probably one of those places that serve as like retreats for maybe churches or schools. But right now, because of the coronavirus, those types of particular resorts do the worst. Although contrary to what you might believe, the other hotels and such, they're not doing too bad. You know, you've seen us travel around quite a bit, and they've been sort of booked out and such. If it caters to like your average consumer, because all these Koreans have like remote work and free time, so they're traveling a lot more. And I keep saying this, but there's like 40% more hikers than there usually have ever been. Because of the coronavirus, people are all going outdoors instead of, you know, doing their indoor activities like go watch movies and such, right? Alright, so that's this little area. I have no regrets of not exploring. I'm OCD like this, guys, so I will cover every inch, see everything. And I may have not lived in Korea most of my life, but at the end of this, I will claim to know Korea better than most Koreans who have lived here all their life. Which will be a fact because they're too busy working and grinding and making a living. So, you know, they don't really travel around like this. Oh my gosh, where is this going? Oh, I love this! Wow, who would have known that there's such like a random back road just minutes away from my house? And I was sort of talking about it before I got sidetracked, but we'll probably move away from this area. You might have picked it up in another one of my vlogs, but there's like a good chance we'll either go to Gwangju, which is where my aunt on my mother's side lived. I did a vlog I haven't edited it, but I'll release it on my main channel. It's like my trip to Gwangju, and I mention it, and I will mention it because I know I said it. Or if you've seen, there's like that island above Incheon with the pension that we visited it twice, but I don't know if I vlogged it twice. I definitely vlogged it once, and I already released it. And we might be moving there. So those are the two hot options, but anything's on the table, honestly. And when that happens, I won't have access to all these roads. Oh geez, it's so bumpity. I am definitely off the beaten path. The GPS does not have this as a road registered. I might get stopped by the military because, I mean, where else could they have been coming from? Oh yeah, it is. 군사시설 보호구역입니다. Oh yeah, it is a military. I've driven up to Area 51. Alright guys, I'm gonna head back, but let me get out of the side of there because I'm sure there's CCTV, and then adjust my camera, and then I'll check back with you once I make it back down to where you haven't seen. You guys wonder why I do the clapping thing in the beginning? It's how I sync my external audio with the video. Anyways, back to my rants and ramblings. I am here at where the road split off, if you remember. I went to the right expecting a dead end, and that's what I got. And here is a path that says it is to the Yumeongsan Mountain foot trail, hiking trail. So I went on their main trail, but this looks like it's coming from, I guess this would be the east side, not the north. It's a huge mountain, so they have trails to not only the east, but my other hiking partners, they went through the west, which was a lot easier. But the north, the one that I featured, is the more famous and the more, how do you say, scenic course for sure. Oh, the River Valley Basin, amazing. So this is what I must have been seeing on the map, and the footpath definitely connects to the other main road, but it might end up as a dead end, which would mean one, I won't cut this thing short. I'll find equal material elsewhere to show you another dead end path actually that I've been meaning to go to. Because on my biking vlogs, the ones that I sort of edit out when I'm carrying the, what's it called? Oh, the GoPro on my wrist and shooting shortcuts instead of these long one monologues. I try to go on routes that are much longer and that definitely converge and merge into a certain place. But these odd roads, ins and outs, they're sort of experimental, so that's why I'm doing this type of video. Let me know how the audio is, guys. Maybe it's perfectly great, but I'm feeling a bit of wind even behind the mask because it's not like a full face mask, so there could very well be wind noise, although, you know, there's a foam cover on the lav mic. I positioned it to the side. If you, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but let me know which one you prefer. I might just know the obvious when I listen to it, but they might have different wind sound profiles. But I know, like, when I lift my head like this, I definitely feel a breeze. That should definitely make noise on the lav. But like this, if I tuck in, I definitely feel less wind. I wonder if it makes a difference though. This is just sort of me driving normally. And then the angle. I'm using super view on the GoPro right now, which is a much wider angle. Let me know if you prefer this. I mean, it's got that bird's eye view, you know, that certain people either love or hate. But you definitely get a wider field of view, so you're getting more information. So there's a trade-off. You know, people complain, but it's not like I don't know that I would rather prefer things straight. It's just, what would you like more, you know? If there's something wrong with the audio or video, it's because there's a trade-off. Usually it's number one, I don't have the money to do it. I mean, because if you have enough money, then it's fine. But even with a lot of money, like, there is no way you'll get a wider angle than this without, you know, number one, having a lot of money for equipment, and number two, like, putting on a lot of weight. In which case, like, if I got like a huge ass camera, there's no way I can mount it. So it's also not possible. So this is probably one of the better trade-offs. But the 360 camera is pretty promising. But the trade-off with that, however, is even if I got it, the resolution isn't going to be as good, you know? Although the field of view would be better. But there's my little rant about people who complain but don't tell me the alternative. It's like, yes, I understand you don't want this kind of video, but I did it because you get more information. And then some people are expressing that they thought my video was too jerky because I'm moving side to side. Well, I don't have to because this is wide, but you're going to get a weird, distorted sort of field of view, you know? So which do you prefer more? That's the thing. So let me know. There you have it, the 2 point of views. Honestly, the first one isn't too bad for me, but when I mount it on my wrist and I'm pointing it somewhere, I definitely prefer the first view better because, first of all, I can start shooting 60 frames per second at 4K. But right now, when I'm mounting it on the front of the bike, because I don't have control over the direction per se, it's gonna point wherever my bike is pointing. You know, I'm trying to give you more information. You know, like right now I'm seeing beautiful sights to the left through the trees. There's amazing little houses and such. Even with this wide of an angle, I'm not sure you can see it, although it is almost a 180 field of view. Jeez. Again, the GPS is all shoddy. So that's why I'm trying to get as wide as I can. Oh, luckily, I might be able to show it to you guys. Alright, what is this? Yangpyeong. 연결도로 없음. I think we're in luck. Guys, I think it connects eventually. Because the right, they say it's a dead end. And how nice of them to tell you that it's a dead end. That way I know to go here first. Oh, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful here. Oh, you know, I can see, this is what I appreciate. Like, I know why people appreciate Thailand. I appreciate it too. I like the jungly, you know, very natural environments. It's heaven to drive there. But, you know, I like the breaks in my trips, and I like these sort of towns like that pop up as well. And you get more of that when you drive here in Korea because it's a bit more developed. So it's not like the States where everything is gentrified, or if it's nature, it's magnificent because it's big. But then it's like, it's big for a whole, like, it crosses 3-4 states big. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to Arizona and it's like a desert for the whole freaking state, you know? And, well, you do have mountains. But you know what I'm talking about. If I did a 30-minute driving video, it's generally going to be the same scene. So, not much of a video, you know? Like, watch the trucker video, guys. I mean, the reason why people watch it is not because of the scenery. They carry on a good conversation. Here, I don't need to do much. I mean, even, like, you know, the guys that a lot of you guys watch, ADV China, I don't watch their channel because their motorcycle trips are so amazing. I mean, you just see these boring, like, big Chinese roads, which are really gentrified because it's recently been developed. So these big, huge roads of highways and such, it's like, well, I mean, I'm not really watching it for that, but they have really interesting conversations, you know? But here, I mean, if ADV China came to Korea, and actually lately they've been doing Taiwan, which is quite interesting, but I don't know, maybe, yeah, it is quite interesting, actually. But yeah, they're Chinese, like, riding videos. Like, I'll be looking at the same highway for most of the trip, and then I'll see like one change of scenery. But here it's just constantly changing, constantly changing. I love it. Oh, look at this. There's even a stream to the right. I hope you caught that. Oh, and you really can't come here with a car. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, over there, they blocked it off. They said it's a private property. It's freshly paved though. This is perfect. But if you drive a car, you very well could like meet somebody at this road. Eventually you will. And you have to back up forever, or like, oh, I don't know. I've had situations where somebody who was driving me has literally like scratched their car, like trying to fit through some, you know, roads where it's just a bit too small. Whoa, what is this? Okay, okay. Not much of a choice, guys. On the left, it's another fancy house. And here we have a dead end. Okay. 조남일, 구가 용자의 집, 양평군. What it says right there is he's a veteran, so I definitely shouldn't mess around. But most likely, Korean veterans are cool. They're not like psychotic, you know, with guns or something. I don't want to classify all veterans, but you know, I could do this because, you know, I've been in the military too, so I can crack jokes at myself. We are not the most mentally healthy people here in America. Like, I couldn't tell you how many of my fellow veterans, you know, are PTSD, you know. So, Koreans are, you know, they're actually involved in a lot more wars than you would imagine. Koreans generally support and send troops to pretty much all the battles and wars that America goes to, but a majority of their troops are just stationed here. So they're not really going around and killing people per se. Although the training, if you talk to any military, you know, drill sergeant, etc., they will tell you how hard the Koreans train. It's no joke. They're ready to battle. But they don't have the traumatic emotional issues that our amazing American troops have, and that's why you gotta appreciate them. They're going out there doing all the dirty work that you and I don't want to, so that we have the freedom to complain and mock them or praise them. You know, that freedom is not easy, I tell ya. I don't know. I guess you might start saying I'm a right-wing, you know, well, what is that term? Trumpeter or whatever, but you guys all know if you've listened to me, I'm definitely no trumpeter, but when it comes to supporting the troops and having a point of view in the world that it's not all fine and dandy and rosy, and if we didn't get into any wars at all, no matter what, you know, somehow the world will become kumbaya. That's not the case, you know. Let's just remind everybody, before America got into any wars, World War I and World War II were happening. Only after America got involved in wars have we not seen like a world war. So people who like sort of, I don't know, how do you say, like, say America is like, you know, the worst imperialist in the world. Well, they need to study world history and really understand what the worst imperialism and colonialism have. It's just human nature to want to take advantage and bully people, and I don't know. I guess I'm not, although I would love, trust me, I would love a world where everybody is kumbaya, and if everybody was me, they would all be respectful, and if I didn't get into a war, they would respect. Yes, I understand. But I think those people have a relative naive view of the world. Since I've traveled around, I can only tell you, as great as the people are out here, it's also human nature to take advantage of certain situations, and you just not getting involved in a war or whatever isn't necessarily going to guarantee that they aren't going to take advantage of you and bully you. So it's a matter of just the lesser of two evils, and let's just say I would much rather be under American, colonialism rule per se, have you, which they're not really, but even if it is, I would much rather be colonized by America than I don't know, any other country out there, you name it, who are the big superpowers, right? Like Russia or China, or, I mean, if America wasn't around, who'd rule the world? Probably one of those, right? So would you rather be under Chinese colonial rule or Russian colonial rule? I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm not here to like sit here and judge and say, Chinese people are all bad or anything. Don't take it that way either, but just, my affinity, having grown up in an American sort of freedom of speech society, also being in a democratic Korean, been born here, I would rather be under American colonial rule. And if you think there is gonna be like nobody ruling anybody, well, as great as that would sound, I just don't think it's possible. But guys, how are you liking this? Now I'm at they're saying this road is gonna connect. I'm really hoping so. Wow. Look at that. It's like smoke going up, but it's fog. It's just fog rising into the skies. Oh man, it's sort of scary here though, isn't it? Isn't it? If this was America, I'd be scared. Like, I sort of would, guys. Oh shoot, that means there's possible flash floods here. Those big microphones, megaphones, do you say? Those speaker systems? I've learned in one of my hikes, that's designed to alert you when there's a flash flood about to happen. And being that it's rainy season, it's, yeah, ooh, man, look at this. But yeah, in the States, you could have some crazies like popping up and shooting you. But that might be just media influence, like, because I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and such. In reality, maybe it's not that bad. Ooh. Oh, okay, it's still not a dead end. Good. I'm hoping this connects. I'm really hoping so. Here is some water. Oh, wow, this is so cool. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Don't be a silent mummer. I don't know if that's a word. Oh shoot, it's getting dark. Don't be a silent bum and just watch. Y'all need to like comment and then get my interactions up and let me know if you like it. Because if you don't comment, then I'm thinking, hey, you don't like this video, so I'll end up doing another kind of video. And then you'll be like disappointed because I'm not doing any of these motorcycle videos. But then it's like, well, you didn't comment, so there's no interaction, there's no, YouTube isn't pushing it, more people aren't watching it, and then there also isn't a comment to say that you liked it, so I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe you just don't like it, That's why it's sort of important to comment. But I do get it, because unless I told you this, most of you guys are thinking, well, I don't really have anything to really say other than, maybe good job or whatever. But even that, seriously, goes a long way for us YouTubers. So any comment would be appreciated. And, also I know if you're like on your TV, because I see the reports, a lot of you guys watch me on TV. That's fantastic. That's great. I'm not going to discourage you from doing it. Doesn't help my analytics per se, but watch it in the way you enjoy it the most. But I understand if you're watching on TV, you can't comment. Yeah. But once in a while, check me out on your phone and just let me know, hey, I love this video so far, but I'm going to go home and watch the rest on TV or something. Yeah. I mean, it's weird, guys. Like, I feel like I get more comments, private DMs, than I get actually public comments. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. This is even better than the last one. Look at this. Wow, look at that. I'm doing a little roundabout to show you. Wow. Yeah, I mean, DMs are cool and such, but all guys, but comments are even better. Yeah. Y'all be like ninja watching me on YouTube and then asking me, you know, these questions. Oh, I'll go to the side for you. On Facebook. But then those questions are usually really good. And if you commented on the video, then my answers would be for the benefit of everybody else too. I understand if it's something like embarrassing or very private to ask, but in my experience as a YouTuber with DMs, I'll tell you about 90% of the questions are either repeat questions that I've already said on YouTube, or like questions I've already answered other people on DMs, and not really very unique, you know, per se, or something you should be embarrassed about at all, you know. I mean, what the heck? How is anybody even gonna know who you are? I mean, you could be, I don't know. You can be Johnny Depp, you know. You could just like make your screen name like Johnny. You could even say Johnny Depp and then like comment on my thing, and nobody would suspect that you're really Johnny Depp. Who cares? You know, just like. But yeah, I mean, I understand if it's super personal. Oh, okay. So I was about to ask you this too. What do you think about my commentary right now? I'm just sort of talking a lot because it's a mic check, right? But most of the comments I get is that when I don't comment at all, even though I'm just rambling on about maybe possibly other subjects, it's not as interesting. And there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there, and people really enjoy just watching these videos with no commentary, just the natural sounds, like this. Maybe it's like ASMR, you know? Oh, this this is so cool too. I will do a little circle around for you guys. Yeah. ASMR-ish videos. But when I do those kinds of videos, they say it's boring, you need to have commentary. So I would like to see a poll, you know, comment below. If you have nothing like really interesting to ask me or whatever, that's what you should say. I prefer the super wide angle view or the regular wide angle view in the beginning. I like the mic mounted on the side or the front better. The front is what I did in the beginning, and the side is right now. And hey, and actually this is the most important thing. I really enjoy your random ramblings, or could you ramble much less? Because I want to hear the environment, you know? Or, you know, don't talk at all. Your voice is your voice is annoying. I mean, that's sort of harsh, but I've heard that too. Actually, I don't take it personally either, because by now as a YouTuber you have to have thick skin, guys. Wait, do I know this place? Do I know this place? Do I know this place? Oh, I think it connects. That circle connects. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at these people camping there. Well, they say I said camping there, but that's not camping. What the heck? I mean, I see the sign and it says camping place. So that's why I said they're camping, but it's not a camping place. What the frick? But they're having amazing barbecue. But this is, I think this will connect to the main Yumeongsan Mountain entrance where I hiked up. I shot the video, I haven't edited it yet, but I'll probably release it, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll release this video sooner because it's gonna go on my Traveling Asia channel. Yeah, you might not see the video, but it will come out eventually on my main channel. Yumeongsan Mountain hike. Although I've done so many more amazing hikes after that, up to Bukhan Mountain, up to Kwanat Mountain yesterday, and the week before I went to, oh, I keep calling it Obong Mountain, but it's Puga? Fudge. I don't know, it's like, these words are getting all mixed up in my head. I've gone to so many mountains. But the one right next to Bukhan Mountain. So, yeah. I sort of want to edit those out. I'm like more excited to do those because the scenery was so much better. But Yumeongsan Mountain is, you know what? It was great on its own right. It's just I forgot about it. But sometimes I'm editing these videos and I realize, oh yeah, it was amazing. I forgot about it. But I just need to be able to edit it right away when I'm most motivated about it. But lately you know what, this taxi is really trying to go faster, so I will let them pass. This is sort of illegal, but you know, it's the spirit that the people admire, you know? Are we gonna have a bunch of Korean trolls hop on there and say, you broke the law? You know, they will just look at the spirit of what I'm trying to accomplish. The other guy is not overtaking me, so I'm moving over to let him overtake me. And the biker in front of me is not caring because he's like, oh, he's just being courteous and I got plenty of space to go by. So this is what is like common sense here, guys. Like, common sense trumps just following rules. And that will be a common like cultural theme out here in Asia, not just in Korea, that Americans might, you know, take a while to get used to, because it's like America sort of set up, maybe, I don't know about other Western countries, but certainly America, it's set up where you have to follow rules because it's set up for idiots, you know, and it's very important you follow rules. Except, oh man, I can go on a side rant. I mean, that's one of the good things about America. It's like one of the countries that follows rules. I'm not saying that not following rules and using common sense is great, because that's what makes Korea and these Asian countries great on its own and exciting and more efficient in some degree. But you know, when you have a system where you're expected to follow the rules, then you should follow the rules. Oh, what the heck? I think I'm supposed to make a left here. You should follow the rules like 100% of the time, because that's the system we're in. But then lately it's like, you know, in America it's okay to not follow the rules in certain cases. Then you're just basically, you know, killing the rule of law. Like, there's no respect for the law. So it sort of deteriorates, you know, when one party says, you know, you don't have to follow the rule in this case, and the other party is not going to follow the rule either when it's convenient or sticks to their situation. I'm going to keep it vague like this because I don't want to, like, you know, side with one party because I might have a bias, but it seems that way, you know. Both parties are sort of guilty of it. So this rule of law is not really happening, and America doesn't have like the history of operating by common sense either, so you're sort of screwed. Oh geez, where am I going? This is not right. I know where we are though. I think I just passed. Wait, is that it? Oh, I thought this was it, but no. I'll head back. I'll go a little faster. This is a test for my mic. So right now, head is tucked in. Not as much wind in my neck. Head is raised. Wind coming in. Normal positioning. Average amount of wind. I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. Geez, what the heck? Where am I supposed to go here? I'm supposed to merge into the main road around here somewhere. But yeah, that's my little rant about laws. But in countries like Asia, where common sense generally trumps all, you know, then Americans have a hard concept of understanding this, because number one, then they'll think, oh, rules just aren't enforced, you know? So if rules just aren't enforced, you just go out and do crazy ass crap, and then they get caught and they're like, well, you know, I didn't know. It's like, well, if you didn't know, you should have just followed the freaking rules. Or number two, they're out here and then they're just beating themselves over how, you know, Asians just don't follow rules. This is just such a uncivilized society, blah blah blah. They try to change it, like the only way to live and operate a country and a society is by following every rule to the T, you know? When in reality, the whole reason they're out here and staying here and not going freaking back home, even though we're so annoyed with those kinds of people who are like, well, if you don't like it, just go back, is because they themselves, even though intellectually they don't understand it, they feel it's much better out here. And the reason it's better living out here is exactly because of that. People aren't following rules to the T, because if it is, then it becomes a very boring society, right? And things become very inefficient, and things become very costly, which is like, if I put it that way, then you would understand, yeah, that's what we don't like about America, you know, which is things are very costly, things are very inefficient sometimes, and it's very boring, you know? But the positive to that is things are very predictable, you know? It's relatively a civilized society, I mean, I guess in a Western sense. But there's pros and cons to each system. But they don't realize you can't have, you know, both. You can't have a very efficient, like, very exciting, like, oh yeah, like, fast-paced society when everybody is always trying to follow the rules to a T, you know? It's just something you have to accept and learn how to deal with. And even though there's negatives to it, say, oh, okay, well, this is the lesser of two evils, right? Not just sit here and just like not want to leave because you know you don't like it back there, but then just keep complaining how things are out here. But the reason why the things are out here like that is because you like it out here. You know, it's like, just shut up. You're like, these guys have been like out here like sometimes 10, 20 years old, like more than me, and they're like 30, 40 years older than me, and then they're acting like they're, you know, they know Asia better than me, but it's like they don't have the intellect to understand that. They're just constantly complaining and griping about things, and it's like, Jesus, like, what have you been understanding for like the last 30, 40 years you've been out here in Asia when you don't understand that? It's like, I can just clearly see the reason why, you know, things are better out here is because, you know, unfortunately these negatives, they're not negatives actually, because I could always phrase something positively, right? That's why it's important to have a positive mindset, I think. Not to say everything is perfect out here. There are some things, no matter how positively you look at, it's bad, you know? And those things needs to change. But a majority of things you'll see people complain out here is as a result of the positives. So now I'm on the main road, definitely, and I'm happy I have mapped out a location for you guys, I guess if you're ever out here, because based on the map, it would say that that segment that I went through, when I sort of made that fork, is a footpath only on the map, even in the Korean map. So that is a fantastic loop trail. I would recommend everybody do. I have unofficially, fudge it, who else has titled it? I will officially title this Ethan's Yumeongsan Scooter Trail. I won't say motor trailed as like vehicle trail, as I certainly wouldn't recommend doing that with a car. There are some very tight corners. You know what, I could say motorcycle trail, but nah. I'm just gonna say scooter trail, because if you come with a motorcycle, it just don't fit, you know. I don't know if those racing tires would do very good there. Oh, all right. Oh, here, just enjoy this. Enjoy this view for a while. I'm about to lose my voice. Oh. 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 Oh, I'm addicted to this feeling. My tank is still full, and I'll have you know, my tank is only like a 2.8 liter tank or something. Oh, you know, I strongly believe the best things in life, I won't say are free, but the best things in life are not the most expensive. Sure. That would be the realistic point of view on it. Hey, who's not gonna say a fantastic Rolex watch, or an expensive iPhone, or Samsung, if you're like an iPhone hater or whatever, or if you're a Samsung hater, I mean Google, you know. Let me cover all bases and say Huawei lover, you know. Then those are great, and they cost money, right? They're good. But the best things, like family, great, you know, like some food is expensive, but like great like street food, you know, great homemade cooking, fantastic roads, you know, literally, because the toll roads are definitely not the best roads out here, but they're more expensive, and even the vehicles, you know, I could be driving my S2000. It's not even the most expensive car, but I could tell you it's certainly more enjoyable than my, you know, fancy luxury Acura sports coupe, you know, to drive. But I'll tell you, this Honda Cub is far more of an enjoyable ride, even more than my S2000. So, the best things in life aren't usually the most expensive, you know? At least for me. At least for me. I know many of you will disagree. A lot of people still chasing that fancy life. The high-so life. That's all they want. And I won't even deny that those people who have it say that it's the best life. You know, I don't know, I haven't been in their shoes per se. I mean, I've definitely been high-so, but not like crazy rich high-so. You know, I won't say that, but yeah, unless you're crazy rich, I can say with 99% certainty that not being moderately wealthy, six-figure type, but being able to experience all this stuff like I am, day in, day out, certainly better than that. Woo! And I have no regrets. Otherwise, I'd be trying to chase that crazy rich life, but you don't see me do. Like that stupid guy. Fancy car, probably works. I mean, if you actually calculated it, probably works like 1 week out of the month just to support the payments and insurance on that car, right? Like he's stuck there, stupid, doing 3-point turns because his vehicle ain't nimble enough to just make a quick U-turn, you know? And he's surrounded by windows and pillars that don't let him smell and experience the environment like me. Whereas me, well, this scooter at the end of the day is probably gonna cost me maybe a few $100 to own for, you know, several years, because I'm pretty sure the resale value on this is gonna be pretty good. I bought it used with already much of the thing depreciated, and then I won't say that the scooter will appreciate in value, although a lot of Honda Cubs have. I mean, it seems like if you hold on to it long enough, they'll all appreciate, but who knows. But I like this model because you'll notice that it has a squared off headlight, like a squared off shape, which, I mean, this Honda Cub has been like that since like the early 2010s, right? So people are wanting the even more classic circular look, which the new Honda Cubs are from like the very, very original ones. But to me, this is more me. I'm like a 80s, 90s kid. This is the 97 Acura Integra JDM look, not the American circular headlight look. JDM look, or the Accord look, with the boxy like squared headlight look, with the baby blue. Like they don't make this color and these kinds of headlights. Like it's a very unique Honda Cub, I think. They only sort of experimented with this squared off headlight look this year, and although right now it's underappreciated, by the time I resell it, but I don't think I'll resell it. I'll probably keep it. But if I ever did resell it, it'd probably be like 10 years down the road when they only have circular things for a while. I think it will be appreciated. It's also the last year it's had both front and rear drum brakes. It's very classic drum brakes. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, for those of you motorheads, what is more reliable? Not what performs better, because I know like the disc brakes perform better, but what's more reliable, more maintenance free? Usually the old styles are. Maybe it doesn't perform as much, but more reliable. And on top of that, I do care about performance because Korea has so many mountains. What has a tendency to overheat more? You know, like I have a feeling like disc brakes, because they're so small, like the friction pad area, and it's such high friction at a short amount of time, it will tend to heat up faster. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know, because I'm concerned, like when it comes to brake performance, I don't need a quick stop per se, because it's already light and I'm going so slow. But as you see in Korea, you'll be doing a lot of these downhills. This is actually not too bad, but a lot of locations I'll be constantly just riding my brakes. So I try to switch between the front and the rear. you know, so I'm not overheating one too much. But yeah, that's an issue. What is going to be more cost effective? Imagine changing brake pads would be cheaper? Or are the compounds on the drum brakes cheaper? Or because it's so big, it doesn't wear as fast, and in the long run it's cheaper? Let me know. Let me know for those of you who are actual like motorheads out there. Drum brakes versus disc brakes. I don't care about stopping performance. We all know that disc brakes are better. But long-term durability, maintenance, and cost. What's better? And reliability. Reliability, sort of durability. Man, I'm surprised. I'm recording at 2.7K and I noticed that I am, this GoPro's lasted the whole thing. I haven't changed batteries. Okay, I'm gonna move over a bit for this guy. Yeah, you go on ahead, buddy. What the? That's the guy that was doing a U-turn up there. Unless it's the same model. Hyundai Avante. Avante is, my understanding, is a lower grade car than the Sonata. Isn't it? But they look bigger. Cars just keep getting bigger and bigger. Avante, I think, is like slightly bigger than an Elantra. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it. It is very possible that that's a different car. Because in Korea, you mainly see a lot of these Hyundais and Kias. As a result of the higher taxes on import cars. Although, due to recent concessions Korea has had to make, particularly to America, with the trade deficit, I've seen significantly more import cars in Korea. Well, actually a lot more German cars. Koreans really like, you know, fancy German cars. Not as much, but I do see like the American cars I see are like American muscle cars. Oh, I just passed my home. Alright guys, so that is my talk and rambling of the day. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know. Again, number 1, do you prefer the commentary or silence? Or you like the commentary but just not as much? 3 options. Number 2, the first segment of the video. Do you like the wide angle, mic mounted to the front, or as in this segment, the super wide angle, and if you like the mic mounted to the side? The mic, I think if I hear it I could determine it, but I would be relying on it if, oh look at that cat. Oh, okay. GoPro and the perfect time to end. But yeah guys, let me know. Although the mic I'll probably figure out myself. Bye bye.